developments as this country, heads to the polls on the 12th of this month. It is a very heated period. We are expecting a lot of activity with regards elections, with regards party mobilizations, with regards rallies. Adoptions. This has been the talk the past few days. We get to, put these adoptions on, a magnification glass and try to zoom in and see exactly who has been picked for which area, by which party, and why, and also the prospects of them, forming or taking leadership in this particular election. This evening, I am not alone, but I am with my able team. Some people refer to us as the Three Musketeers. So I am joined by the diesel engine, the patriotic husband, the Uafdala Monaco guy. This man goes by the names Tabula Kelvin Chifokolo, as recognized by the government of the Republic of Zambia. His newly found title is Retiring Recycled Politicians in the Best Interest of the Zambian Youth. But also, he's referred to as Prophet One because of his prophetic abilities to discern what is likely to occur in the political landscape of this country, Zambia. Kelvin, good evening, and it's good to be with you tonight on a program.
Working day it is. We started early in the morning, and here we are. This is our country, Zambia, and I'm so happy and so excited that we can still punch some holes and give our perspectives as well as an analytical view on the things that are happening in terms of adoptions, closing of parliament, ministers, leaving offices, saying their goodbyes. We are here, and I'm so happy to be here once again in SN.
Also joining us this evening is this gentleman who goes by the name Teacher Paruro. He is also referred to as the man that gets paid for doing his hobbies. He has a very big passion for the country Zambia. He believes that Zambia is extremely rich and that the people of Zambia are extremely hard-working. He goes by the name Mabvuto Phiri. Mabvuto, good evening and welcome to Zambia Decides.
Much privileged to be here. Thanks for the opportunity as always.
All right. Now, this day, was characterized by a number of events. As we started the morning, we were discussing the likelihood of some political party, members that will not be adopted to possibly go for the, the positions as independent candidates. And truth to that was Emmanuel J. Banda, popularly known as JJ Banda, who has announced that he's going to go as an independent, but under the support of, or under, the umbrella of Edgar Chagwa Lungu.
It's always important to test your popularity. We've seen actually what I would call the actual formalization of people that previously has been seen as members of the party that had not accepted the decision of the party when they were left out in these elections. I'll quickly get to history. In the 2016 elections, there were some people that had opted to contest or access an adoption certificate on the governing political party, which is the Patriotic Front. These are Anthony Mumba, Inka Senshi. We equally had in Eastern Province, Masao Sotembo. We equally had in Busakiri, if I'm not mistaken, Kalobwe, Pavuma, Rebokalwaka Pavuma. I think these were some of the names when the party decided otherwise. They said, we are going to stand as independents. And they demonstrated, not that they were not loyal to the party or they didn't declare their allegiance to the party, because we've seen that throughout the 5-year period, in most PF functions, especially when it came to Bill 10. They were there for the party, and they stood with the party in difficult times. And 5 years down the line, we have seen the actualization or formalization of them now being respected by the party in terms of adopting them on the party ticket. So I think for me, what is key, also we had seen also with the UPND in a number of constituencies where members of the party had felt that they had been deprived of these positions in terms of contesting. And this year we've seen. So I think for me, the decision by JJ Banda is not surprising, because in 2016, he had been told, hold on, give your sister an opportunity to be able to contest. This year again comes, JJ, despite proving himself to be popular at provincial level, having won as a provincial youth chairperson, we saw that he had a number of challenges with the party leadership in the province, got attacked. But above it all, I think he has worked hard through the Edgar Chagwa, Eastern Province Edgar Changwalungu Foundation, which is, whose spokesperson is Munia Zulu, in terms of ensuring that they get to each and every part of the province to ensure that all the numbers are given to Edgar Chagwalungu. But when it came to adoption, surprisingly, JJ was left out. But today, he made what many of us actually, in the morning, there were a lot of speculations that probably he will be defecting. Earlier in the morning, he had announced that he will be having a news conference to update the people in terms of what his next course of action will be. At exactly around 12:30, and there was a lot of anticipation from the people, because I think over the years, in the last 5 years, JJ has built himself into a controversial cult in the PF. He's been associated with all manner of activities. You are aware at one time he had been accused that he had beaten up police officers. So I think he's built a profile for himself, and the people have been looking forward in terms of what will be the next step. How will the party honor this JJ Banda? Will they give him the certificate? But sadly, he didn't get that adoption. And today, at around 14 hours, if I'm not mistaken, JJ took to stage to inform the country his next course of action. And he's made it clear that I still have the confidence, and I'm still the chairperson of the Eastern Province Edgar Chagwalungu Foundation. Therefore, in terms of the presidency, I'm endorsing Edgar Chagwalungu. In terms of the parliamentary seat, and for the record, JJ and the current member of parliament for Petauke, if maybe history serves me right, I've never seen them in a photo together. So they've not seen each other eye for an eye. And today he said, I'm going for it as well. I need this seat. I cannot be taking people to parliament. And this should always be done at my expense. And there were questions, there were concerns that were raised by members of the press to say, but is this not going to confuse people? Is this not some point of disintegration? Teacher says, yes, it could be, but you should understand one thing. I've given my sister an opportunity to be a member of parliament. For the record, I did attend that news conference. I've given my sister an opportunity to stand. But are you aware, for instance, that Petauke is one of the constituencies in this country with a higher mortality rate? And we've seen a lot of women dying. He gave an example where he went to a maternity ward women were literally sleeping on the floor. And he said, I went rightly, I went to buy beds, beddings, and as we speak now, women are sleeping on the comfortable bed. But above it all, just a quick summary. I think it would be a disservice, especially for many of these emerging leaders, and I would have hoped also maybe colleagues and friends like Chanoda Nguila, even in Matero, Kunda, there is also Lim Cooper. They need to test their popularity. They can't just be coming here and claim that we are popular on the ground. We saw some of these colleagues literally taking bags of mini meal to the village. How will they be able to sustain that? Will they abandon, as we are speaking now, said, we should be thankful to some of our colleagues, because the welfare of the people during this period has temporarily changed. Because most of these aspiring candidates have been on the ground trying to convince the people, but the party has denied them an opportunity to do so. So I think for me, I'm happy with what two young people have done. I also earlier in the morning had an opportunity to get in touch with Munia to ask what's the way forward, and he told me, send me, I wish I could send it through. He sent me his receipt and tells me I'm set for Monday between 9 hours and 9 hours and 9:55. The people have told me I need to go and represent them, because I think the current people, and Pirila Jele equally was independent, but the PF now has given an adoption certificate. So the people that are claiming to be popular, I challenge them. Chanoda also should have gone back to Chasefu if he believes that he's popular on the ground. And it's within their democratic rights to be able to prove, and they need to prove the party wrong, that the adoption, that the person who've given the adoption certificate is not the right person for this parliamentary seat.
I know that this evening we're going to, like I did mention earlier, we're going to get to the board, and we're going to, dissect these individuals and really understand, who they are. We won't have to discuss everyone, but at least for today, we're going to discuss where there's a lot of friction. So the question that we're going to be asking is, who is J. Banda?
JJ, you've missed it. It's double JJ.
So J squared Banda. All right. So who is JJ Banda? That is the question that we're going to be asking. But also, we're going to be asking, who is Dora Celia? These are two questions that we're going to be asking, but also are going to get to other constituencies, because this is Petauke Central.
Of course, Petauke is of interest to many. Yeah, where the current member of parliament is a minister in charge, or outgoing minister in charge of information and broadcasting. She's been the party she's been the chief government spokesperson. So everybody else is looking, who is contesting the most powerful lady. Others have referred to her. I think the quick answer I would give to your question, if you were to ask me, who is Dora Syria? I'll tell you, she is the Iron Lady of the PF. That's
the Iron Lady of the PF.
Yes.
We're going to get to history.
And you ask me, who is JJ? I'll tell you, he is the golden boy of the modern PF.
So, of the modern PF. Kelvin, before we get to the board and dissect this, these individuals, this announcement by J. Banda is not, new. This was expected, that he was going to go this route, because he was denied this opportunity the last time in 2016 when he stepped aside and, gave Honorable Dora Celia the opportunity to stand. He was asked to say, this is not your time. What, do you make of his announcement today?
So, in 2016, Emmanuel J.J. Banda applied to stand on the PF ticket. By then, Madame Dora was just coming from the movement for multi-party democracy, MMD, and so the party then, in 2016, decided that they'll go with the incumbent, who had just switched camp from the blue to the green. And so the young man, even flyers are still there, where he had put up posters that I'm standing as an independent, and his symbol was a tractor. And so the party felt that if JJ was to go as an independent candidate, maybe they might just lose Petaoke Central. And so he was convinced by the party leadership to not to stand as an independent, but to work within the Patriotic Front. And he obliged, and he didn't stand as an independent member. And so he has been mobilizing in Petaoke until now in 2021 or late 2020, where he announced that 2021 he is going to stand or apply to stand on the PF ticket as a member of parliament for the people of Petaoke Central. A lot did happen. You remember at one point he was being pursued or looked after, the police were after him for the offense of beating up police officers and robbing them. When he came out, he said, "This is pure politics. My enemies are the ones that are framing me and concocting these stories to tarnish my image, but I'm a very good person. If you go to Petaoke Central, just ask who Emmanuel J.J. Banda is. The people of Petaoke Central will be able to tell you who I am and the kind of person that I am." And we did see that even the primary elections were very close to call, because Emmanuel J.J. Banda has been giving the incumbent Member of Parliament, Madame Dora Seria, sleepless nights and a tough run for her money, until the Central Committee announced that they will still maintain and go with the incumbent in the name of Dora Seria. Then news started popping up, and this morning he indicated that he was going to hold a press briefing where he was going to announce his next move or political move. And true to his words, this time around, he says, "I'm going to stand as an independent member of parliament because of the good people of Petaoke Central, because I'm loved by the people of Petaoke Central." Listen, let me just take this opportunity that at the press briefing, we saw a number of people coming from the eastern part of this country, and others even, told me to say, "I've got 3 cars, and I'm ready to release my cars to be used in campaigns, and I'm going to do everything. Fuel and everything will be on me." And so this goes to show you that Emmanuel J.J. Banda is a man of the people, and it will be interesting to see how campaigns will be conducted. This time around, we are not going to have or to see ministers staying in office. Remember, in 2016, there were some people who were beaten, there were some people who ended up being incarcerated, and others even served their jail sentences. One that comes into my mind is PF diehard, Mark Strong. By then, he was arrested and was jailed in Petaoke because of the 2016 elections. This time around, I just hope and pray that the people of Petaoke Central will be able to do their campaigns freely, and the people that have presented themselves, the likes of Emmanuel J.J. Banda, who is standing as an independent, as well as Dora Seria, who is standing on the PF ticket. We are not going to see what was experienced in 2016, where rival camps were fighting each other and people ended up being imprisoned. So like Mr. Mabvuto Phiri has mentioned, if you feel that you're popular on the ground, if you feel or you know that people are backing you and people are telling you to stand independent and we are going to give you a vote, I think it is within their democratic right just to stand. So kudos to Emmanuel J.J. Banda in Eastern Province. So far, I've got about 5 names of people that have declared that they are going to stand as independent members of parliament. Another one is Rumezi aspirant, by the name of Munia Zulu. Also in Kaumbwe, you've got a Banda, Emmanuel Banda, who has declared that he's standing as an independent member. In Malambo, you've got Dr. Lubiro, who has also declared that he's going to stand as an independent member of parliament. So Eastern Province, so far, you've got 5. That is not a small number. So not only Petaoke Central, but nearly all...
To bring India to Petaoke.
Nearly all the constituencies in Eastern Province are very interesting, and we just have to follow and open our eyes and see how campaigns are going to be conducted in Eastern Province.
Okay. We're going to be looking at this video where Emmanuel J. Banda held a press briefing.
I know, but I wanted to, a quick one. Also, what I've learned from the last elections, in 2016, for instance, in Sinda, the PF left a candidate, stood independent, and beat also a candidate of the opposition, who had served, I think, over a period of 15 years.
The independent beat the candidate of the opposition and
yes.
the PF?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are a lot of lessons in this.
In Lumezi, equally, the Patriotic Front settled for a candidate. Then the losing candidates who are not adopted thought of going independent, the 2 of them. Then one said, I'm not going to stand as an independent, and I'm going to support you. And true indeed, that person was left out by the Patriotic Front, stood as an independent member, backed by another losing candidate. And indeed, after the voting in 2016, Lumezi went to an independent member, beating the person that was adopted by the PF and also the person that stood on the UPND.
All right.
Equally, again, 2021 in Lumezi, we have somebody who applied and has been left out, and that person wants now to challenge the person that has been adopted on the PF ticket. And as he was announcing that he's going to stand as an independent, he reminded or asked the people, in 2016, what happened? And the people said, the madam was left out. She stood as an independent and she won. And he said, this time around, expect the same to happen. I've been left out, and I'm standing as an independent, and I know that after the 12th August elections, I'm going to Parliament as an independent member.
As an independent member, indeed. So we're going to go for this picture, and then on the other side, we answer this question: who is Emmanuel J. Banda? Who is Dora Selia? Mabvuto says Dora Selia is the Iron Lady of the Patriotic Front. I was thinking that was Honorable Nkanduluo, but now...
but she still is alive. You know how if you check... you check my Twitter handle when she joined to go to PF from MMD. Do you know what I refer to it as, that process? She's got 7 lives. She's got 7 lives.
She's got 7 lives.
Yeah, she's got 7 lives.
So
that's why I refer to her as Iron Lady of modern politics.
Of modern politics.
When it comes to PF. Look at the people that have survived. We'll get to there, but look at the people. If I look at the entire Eastern Province list, almost everyone has gone in terms of those who've been serving, because she came to prominence in 2006 after having served as a diplomat in Egypt, as deputy Zambian High Commissioner.
You're now giving answers to the question.
No, just a quick one. So from 2006 to where we are now, it's how many years? You can count for yourself. Then we'll come and chart later.
All right, so let's listen.
I was trying to just justify
why you call her the Iron.
My title I've given her.
Yeah.
She was literally the face of the party. And they was thinking, should we sacrifice the face of the party? Here we are. She was number 1, number 2, if I'm not mistaken, when the names for the new members of the central committees were announced.
Second.
So, yeah, Honorable Vincent Mari was the first one. She was second. So I hope you understand my justification for that. And we'll discuss that more.
All right, let's look at this picture on the other side. We continue with this Zambia Decides episode.
Committee that I'm happy with the outcome.
as one of the participants who was also waiting to be adopted. I want to thank them. I want to thank the outcome, and I want to congratulate all those who were adopted under the Patriotic Front Party. But to me, I know I was left out. But it doesn't mean that that's the end of my political career. As a chairman of foundation, we'll continue with the foundation, but I'll stand as independent. Yeah, that it comes to because of the people of Petauke, the people I want to represent. The people I want to represent, they've cried for so long.
Banda, popular by the name JJ Banda, from the Patriotic Front. He runs a foundation and he's a chairperson. They call it the Edgar Lungu
Eastern Province Edgar Lungu Foundation.
Eastern Province for Edgar Lungu Foundation. So these are the questions that we need to answer, gentlemen. But right before J. Banda, held this presser this afternoon, he went somewhere. Pictures have emerged of him having gone to seek the blessings of his striker, because we have heard him say he's
number 5
for his striker, President or coach. I don't know if he's a coach or a striker, but President Edgar Lungu. So we are told that this morning, right before that briefing he had, he went to State House. We're going to be showing some images of him having gone to State House, and he seems to have the blessings of the president, suggesting this suggestion is as, those pictures that we're going to be showing, suggesting.
Yeah, he's a father. If a son feels he's become of age, what do you do next? You go to the father and get the permission. Say, Dad, you've not given me the scholarship, Uncle Mabvuto is ready to do so. So give me the blessings to live. My son, go well, face the world as it is. I think it's some demonstration of being man enough. And the good part is that the president has allowed it. To say, Sonny, it could be a conversation like, it's not me. It's a collective responsibility of the party. Mm. And he says, but Dad, I'll go for you and with you. But let me so give it a try. I might not be the blessed one, but let me give it a try.
So these are images, we are told this morning before he held that press briefing. He was at State House. Kelvin, your analysis of this gesture?
A father is a father, and a father cannot kill somebody's dream or a child's dream or ambitions. What a father can do, or a right father does, is to support your dream. We have seen people, for example, who were forced to study something or to venture into something because they presented their arguments or their side of the story, say, I don't want to do this. But because of some parents who forced something on their kids, when they fail and a father or a parent wants to correct or to say something, a child will just come and say, but I told you that I wasn't meant for this. This was not my field, but you forced it on me. And so a father will listen, a good father will listen to what a child is saying and give that child the blessings. So what has happened, the visit at State House, then Emmanuel J. Banda coming from State House and announcing, say, I'm going. And even when he was winding up his speech, he said, may God bless the people of Petauke Central. May God bless Ayadiga Chagwalungu.
Petauke, India, you were Petauke.
So this is the question. Now we're going to get to a point where when we get to Petauke Central, we know that there are, these other political parties that have fielded candidates for Petauke Central, and we're also going to get to what advantage this divide is going to be for those political parties. If the PF is going to eat within the PF in terms of numbers, is that an advantage to the opposition? Shall the opposition then, take advantage of this? We're going to be getting to that. But who is J.J. Banda? You have said he's the golden boy.
Golden boy of the PF.
So he's golden boy. Yeah? But who is J.J. Banda? Kelvin.
You want me to write?
Yes.
You can write. Emmanuel J.J. Banda is a Petauke boy.
Petauke boy.
Yes.
Born and raised.
Petauke boy.
Yeah?
Tasara 1, Tasara 2, Tasara 6. Yeah. Petauke boy.
I'll ask again, Mabvuto, who is J.J. Banda?
A businessman.
Kelvin.
Emmanuel J.J. Banda is a good mobilizer.
Mabvuto.
Is provincial youth chairperson.
I'm not sure.
Kalampasi.
So I'm He's
He's
a politician. You haven't put that he's a politician.
But he's a politician.
No, you haven't put.
Emmanuel J.J. Banda is a bulldozer.
Zambana na ndani ati daddy boma.
Yeah?
I think he's a self-motivated guy.
Why are you shouting so many praises? Doesn't this man have any deficiencies?
I don't know. Society perceives him as a thug. Maybe if you want me to be brutal in such a manner, especially with the latest, which the court ruled otherwise. So,
Accused thug?
yeah, in the public eye, that's how they look at him.
Because of the beating of police officers at force headquarters.
And also there was that incident where he had, immediately after winning as provincial youth national chair, provincial youth for Eastern Province chairman, I think he had been injured. The other camp had attacked him. But like it was said, I think he's a bulldozer. He won. You remember the provincial elections in Eastern Province for the position of youth chairperson. He went into a committee that didn't want him. So I would say is not on the ground. Is a grassroots. Is loved by the grassroots. Yeah, is loved by the grassroots. We saw it with the elections. I think at a provincial level when he won, and you know that is a very influential position. And when he returned also to the Eastern Province after that purported issue of having attacked the police. We saw how many people went out. It was literally received like a king. Maybe JJ is a king.
Is that one thing that should be there?
Yeah, you can put there. He's a king, maybe.
What sort of king, Mabvuto?
You saw him.
King?
Huh?
A kingpin?
Yeah, he's a kingpin. Those who help people, what do you call them? People like Bill Gates.
A philanthropist.
Yes, he's that one also. You can put him there.
So JJ is a philanthropist.
Yes. That's what I've known of him. He boasted, you remember at one time when he was telling us that in Petauke, he donates to strategic...
Tamakula diesel,
Yes. And
Is it all 500 liters?
yeah. Sincere apologies for that sound glitch. All right, is this all about J Banda?
Yeah, I think so. He's a family man. Because when you talk about, because I've seen,
He's also number 5 for President Lungu.
yes,
he's a defender.
it's a different. So when this name, when people hear of the name Emmanuel J.J.
I
Banda,
think he's also an influencer.
what comes into their mind is that this is the chap that went
He's a
to a police
newsmaker and
station
influencer, I think.
and beat up police officers. But the other side of him, being a family man, is not talked about. The other side of him, being a person that loves the grandfather, the grandmother, is not talked about. Because you remember when he presented himself before the police, and after we had that interview with him, he said, "Neo, nze ku maliro, asikulu ya chifa, solo apa, tikaliye konza maliro." You know. Penewera, ni amadamu anuza kuti yayi, kowera abantu kuno, baneze kufamu. So, he's a family man. And that is the other side of JJ. Despite, these allegations, because those were just allegations, the state failed to prove the case beyond, reasonable doubt. And that is why he was acquitted and, being fined 150 kwacha.
When you gentlemen say that he is a bulldozer, a great mobilizer, you can, for the sake of, some of us that were not following JJ Banda by 2016, just take us there and give us a bit of a detail as to what sort of a mobilizer J Banda.
I think we've seen even with the Eastern Province Edgar Chakolungu Foundation. He's been moving from village to village in terms of creating intersections, and the motivation is very clear. Him and with his team have made it clear. The last time a presidential candidate lost coming from the Eastern Province is because the people of the Eastern Province had not voted. And the idea and the motivation of that foundation is to be able to get and ensure that every person that did register to vote in these elections is captured and they are motivated to go and register. And I think for me, he's not only looked at one side of the divide, he's been talking with the headmen. The other time we saw him going to Paramount Chief President and making it clear to say, this is our candidate. And we've seen the controversy that, for instance, Paramount Chief President has created where he has openly endorsed President Lungu because of unprecedented development based on his perspective of things, especially in the Eastern Province, which is a common denominator between the two leaders. Because JJ also said, "Oh, India, aileta kupita uke." Those are some of the justifications. So, I think for me, if you look at that influence that he carries, clearly is a mobilizer. We've seen the pictures, almost where he's been. There's been people where he's been talking to these people. He's been creating a conversation. He's been, and we'll only be able to evaluate in terms of the extent and the impact of what he has done so far in Eastern Province after the election.
Kelvin, when you say he has the people's, loved by the grassroots, there's a situation or scenario you have shared where you have said that this man okungati kulirali abaso ebya afakalali yake abikalali yakwe abantu balakuka is it this J band?
This is the son of Petauke. This is the boy, a Petauke boy. This is the guy that when he stands to speak, headmen listen and respect the decision that he makes. Even when he was going to file in his nominations at the PF Center, that I want to be considered or I want to be adopted, the people that were in front of him, accompanying him to the PF Secretariat in Petauke, were headmen. So this is the guy that has visited nearly each and every palace in Eastern Province. This is the guy that can still stand today and tell you to say before the Electoral Commission of Zambia started voter registration, I was on the ground, I mobilized, I spoke to my people, I spoke to traditional leadership, and that is why Petauke or Chipata or Eastern Province today can boast as having registered more numbers of voters compared to Northwestern or Western provinces. He will tell you, because I was on the ground, I went and I love the grassroots, I know that is where votes are. And that is why even when he was released here in Lusaka, after presenting himself, when police were looking for him for that aggravated robbery and assault case, when he went to Eastern Province, he was welcomed. Nechitintangombe, chinyantindi chantu, welcomed him, and then he was again arrested because of what? Unlawful procession.
Would you arrest a person for unlawful assembly when he's alone?
Not even manamati wamati konga chabe bantu. We don't call them, but they follow us. With him, that is real, because that other one, because he has been giving out. And that is why he even complains, say, if you stop us from donating or giving, where are we going to take this? But for JJ, unlawful procession, the case.
Unlawful procession. Now, so are you telling, gentlemen, that the only scar is this one, that he's accused the fag? Because of the incident at, police headquarters quarters, and also.
I think that one the court did help to cleanse it.
Yes.
It's not binding.
But it's the only scar that he
I don't think so, because the police themselves who accused him.
It remains a scar.
No, because the police themselves who accused him of having done that. If truly is what they accused him of, he should not have been part of us and aspiring for this position. He should be somebody who should have been in the cells now.
He was fined 150 kwacha.
That's a mockery. So I would not even speak about it. That's a mockery.
It's a mockery.
Yeah. Based on the gravity of what had been raised and what was in the public domain. You remember when he came back, I think from the purported ID, me, him, who were some of the people that went. And it didn't look like a person who was ID. I followed through. He didn't look like a person.
So this is the guy who police were looking for, but went to police and knocked and said,
even when on national TV, the man in charge of Deputy IG of Operations told us, Iweka JJ Fuma. JJ came out when it was appropriate to come out. And he came out. So I think number 8, I don't know, maybe with what is in the public domain. But say, what is key is the people of Petauke. Will they give a vote to a man you and me might have perceived as a threat, or them? To them, it's their son who wants to go and represent them.
And that
so that's
is
the difference.
And that is the reason why, when he presented himself before the police, and after they had recorded the offense, the guy came and he told us, go to Petauke Central today and ask anyone you find, say, who is Emmanuel J.J. Banda? They will tell you, how can I rob police officers when I am giving them fuel for Petauke? How can I rob them? When I have been doing this for the past 3 years. By then, he was saying for the past 3 years, I have been giving police stations or police officers in Petauke free fuel. Fuel, Baba. How can I come here in Lusaka and rob them?
All right. So now we're about to move from
We can move quickly.
to Honorable Doris.
Because you've actually not given people the entire list of who's been announced where we are.
Yes, yes, yes. So we get to Dora Sidia. Who is she? You said
Born in 1970.
born in 1970.
I don't know.
Iron Lady. All right.
Diplomat. Journalist or communicator. Minister that has served in several portfolios under this administration and the previous administration, having started as a deputy minister of commerce and trade. Immediately, I think she was elected in 2006. A business lady, equally. Those who don't know. Yeah. A mother, because I've seen you we're also focusing on families.
Yeah. Kelvin.
Parliamentarian as well.
Apa kulidu pan.
She said there's a parliamentarian.
Also does means okay. Served as parliamentarian. How long? 15 years?
Yep.
What else?
She's a copy.
She gets what she wants. She has 7 lives. She wants to put there.
The person who made someone saw his...
Yeah, that was her point also.
The person that did what?
Made someone sow to the
He
devil.
sowed.
Sow to the devil.
Who sold their soul to the devil?
Someone.
Someone.
She made someone sell their
He
soul
so-
to the devil.
Yes.
Yes, after she joined the PA. That's how powerful she is. And member of the Central Committee, she's not there.
Devil, I mean him, Jelekes.
Amen.
It's on record. I saw it on.
So devil in Angonot. Angara kumayad.
But devil, I see.
Oh, so if a devil meant namvera no amene ojo entizo ko if. Ngati kuli wina ngo amene angala kwa gripisi mtiuzi.
Okay. Demeanor.
She also donates herself. Yeah. She also was part of a foundation that motivates young girls.
You also a philanthropist.
Yes. Yeah. She motivates a lot young girls.
There's a headache for what picking about that.
Yeah, I think so. Fair enough. Oscar, if you were to list how many portfolios she saved, it's African glass.
Why did Sata used to call her what he used to call her?
Maybe they liking for her. She's infectious, actually. She's infectious.
That's also a quality.
Yes.
Michael Chifokolo was calling her the way he was because he was envying her to say, I need her in my camp.
Yes. She's infectious. She's a character we'd want to have around.
Desirable.
Yeah. Infectious as well. Yeah. And admirable. Yeah. She's admirable. She's
admirable in fitting in
Phiri. Okay. Yeah, I leave it. Yeah.
So the PF had to choose between these.
It was not easy.
And
I think I understand why they are dating. It was not
why
easy.
they had to announce at 02.
They had to, they had to do a lot of consultations. It was not easy.
Which other political party is vying for Petauke Central that has announced so?
I think the other political parties are immaterial. Considering what has been in Petauke, I think I would go for two. It's a two. Sorry to say, I know the electoral code.
That's your
demands,
opinion.
Yeah, I know the electoral code demands that we refer to all political parties, and we do acknowledge them and recognize that. But of course, we'll be able to get the full list on Monday of who's made their intention in terms of contesting. Yeah.
Haven't the UPNG announced their candidate for this area?
Have I seen? No, not yet. It will be very difficult to get a candidate beyond these two in Petauke. That I can bet with whichever political party, and I'll tell them they are courageous. That I will tell you. These two, it has been neck to neck, and they've built themselves. And you know, from the time I was young, I remember from the time when Honorable Brigadier General Mianda was MP for that constituency. Then the last one was before Honorable Dorasia came in was Ronald Banda, who had served at one time at COVID development. It's very difficult to get because this is more like a central constituency. Yeah, I know in the old days there were people like the Boma who were contesting in these constituencies, but all of them clearly have fallen off.
So we get to see who
what
these other political parties feel
that Honorable Silia will go into this election and just walk back to Parliament. That's what he has refused to do. It would have been a walkover. We've seen. I think we've not seen serious competition in Petauke.
So far, these are the two, people that are battling for Petauke. We will be updating as soon as the other political parties, jump on this wagon to want to lead the people of Petauke. Jay Banda highlighted a number of, things that Honorable Dora Siria has not delivered with or under her government. And those are some of the things that he did highlight during the presser that he held today. Now, we need to cruise through and just go through some of the adopted candidates so far as announced. And we are waiting for the rest of the political parties to, make known to us.
Why can't we, since you picked one constituency, you can pick one of a governing and opposition?
Sure.
I'm thinking of Mazabuka. Mazabuka looks exciting to me. I don't know for you.
We can go there.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we can start with Mazabuka.
Let's go to Mazabuga constituency. Yeah.
Then we can get
which opposition party are we picking?
Or maybe we go to Ron, where Honorable Chishala and Nathan Chanda are. How does it look? Which one? Okay, you can ask the people, they give us their take. Which one should we look at? I think where's the phone? We need the participation of the people. Quickly, we can get a phone.
Of the people.
Yeah.
As
You tell us whether they're happy with what they've seen so far.
as we get to where we are getting, we will need to discuss.
Or we go to Lusaka Central. Where do you want us to go? It looks exciting there. Dudu, you said Dudu. Dudu and
Anjenja.
Anjenja is also there. So which one do you want us to go to? Dudu.
Who do we have in Mazabuka?
We have former, from the Patriotic Front, we have the former Southern Province Minister, Dr. Edify Hamugari.
As a replacement, I talk about bench.
Super sub.
Then this is on the pier.
Yes.
On the other camp,
Guy and Comba. Guy.
yeah. Is there any other party we need to profile?
Yeah, so far I've read those.
Who is? What is at stake for Mazabuka? What is at stake?
Long saving. I think he stood in the last elections as well. He's
Gary.
coming back to
Long-serving MP.
he also came in 2006. Yeah.
Okay. What else is Honorable Gary Nkombo?
I think he's partly been the face of. I think they've also been three musketeers, I would call them. Honorable Jack Mwimbu, Cornelius Mwetwa, and Gary Nkombo. I'll call him. He's been
Great orator.
yeah, eloquent orator. Yeah, I think his debates have been mature. Yeah.
Come on.
He's a historian.
How long has Honorable Gary Nkombo been in Mazabuka? And so you said since 03.
Yeah. Doctor, one of the few educated. He can go to a doctor briefly. Stood in the last elections under the peer, didn't win.
So who are you? You start with what I didn't achieve.
Okay, he's a doctor. He's a doctor. He's a doctor. One of the very few educated men around. I don't know where he went. He's also an artist. This parliament will be full of artists, yeah?
A man who loves to stand out different,
Goes to a stadium and sings a song.
and that becomes a music video. He has got no time to go.
He's a very unique man, eh?
He has got no time to look for a venue and say no. Yeah, and he speaks out his mind. He will tell you, say, famous issues of
Yeah,
conduct.
it looks attractive. I think we've touched it a bit. Let's go to Munai, I think so. They're an interesting name.
Who is in Munad?
Independent and Mutambo. I don't know whether to refer as to being courageous or coward. I don't know. Left out of the UPND adoption process, goes for independent, to be an independent. I don't know whether we call that bravery or cowardness. I don't know.
It's the same drive as Belgium.
Oh, okay.
So
So we leave it there. Yeah. She's also a musician, I think. You know, one thing when I was going through the profile of these guys, I realized there's a music promoter there. That will be exciting after the elections. There's a music promoter. The UPND have adopted a music promoter.
So who have the UPND adopted?
Mike Mposha.
Mike Mposha. Former Lusaka mayor.
So former Lusaka mayor.
Yeah. He's been a member of 3 political parties, having started with MMG. Not so?
Yes.
MMG, FGG,
UPF.
oh, PF,
FDD then PF.
PF, yes.
PF and UPN.
TF and UPN.
Businessman.
Businessman, music promoter, everything. Oh, he was also a diplomat. Eh?
Yes.
People are complaining about your sound, saying. What is it?
My sound is bad.
PF candidate. PF candidate. We'll go to the PF candidate now.
Oh.
Patrick, put him. People have been asking, who is he?
Patrick Samuel. Patrick Samuel Mbila, PF.
Music teacher.
Mobilizer. He's a farmer. He's mobilized. I've seen choral competitions where he's been available. He's a mobilizer. That I know.
Former NAC chairperson.
Yes, yes. The one famous for loans to musicians.
So, per school, parents already was supposed to music.
Yes, music and English.
Music and
No, English.
English and music teacher.
Then we have difficulty.
Kwasira pasipre wasamunye.
Social.
Yabenda wapangika.
Ndipo naorangana sikukuma.
But wanalochinga utala manifesto yao mnali. So far is the only candidate was with a manifesto.
Printed manifesto.
Printed manifesto.
I attended
for a
his,
constituency.
manifesto launch. Don't worry.
He's the only one. Maybe out of the 156 candidates so far that the PF have adopted, he's the only candidate with a printed manifesto.
They were just waiting to get.
But every Pamenana announced to have gone into active politics and in a manifesto.
The only civil servant of the first civil servant of retired from the service.
Resigned.
Oh, resigned. I think it was Anamchaka Zangena. Bring your phone. I want to ask what the people are thinking.
Difficult. Independent.
Yes, independent. Oh, that one is an artist. This one is an artist. This one is an artist promoter. You've put there artist or choir masters artist. We can't home now, yeah.
Professor Difficult Mugabe Obama State Council.
Kawala Party, the former president of Kawala Party.
Thomas Sipalo.
Independent. I don't know what I'm talking
Combat Guru. Alan.
I mean, I'm independent.
Yes.
about.
So, comedian or artist? Ah, manje nkagamba comedian sisi ulemu.
Wakati chani entertainment manager.
Performing artist. Okay. What else? Businessman.
Yeah. Family manager.
Angela Samu ndio sawa family.
So I'm going to consider. Phone number. Not at the time.
Kina quite difficult.
So Manali is heavily contested so far.
Kombon Guru. Alan Saka.
Independent.
Ni wachani. Businessman.
One family man.
Vandu vatu message tianke ngaba hello 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 hello
Hello, hi, how are you?
we are trying. How are you, sir?
Fine, this is the guy from Nigeria.
Okay, I'm going to come up on your sit.
Yeah, we're fine.
Mr. Kayago, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you are just concentrating on the good things of those candidates. Why can't you go the negative way of them?
Which ones are negative, sir?
That's
why
what
we
you
have
want. That's what you want.
Yeah. We want to hear the negative things of those guys.
Do you
Tell
have?
us.
What the positive?
Mata Kayobo,
Yes, matter.
you have the negative. Tell us the negative on those people. Tell us.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So someone has sent a message to say JJ is a criminal, not loved in Petauke. Later on, he touched one Chinese man for mishandling his mukula in South Africa and posted online.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be good for people to tell us the negatives that they
Yes,
have.
yes,
These people.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Fine, thank you. How are you, sir? Please go ahead. Teacher Paruro.
Teacher Paruro, yes. I think you have national. We talked about Sarah. I don't have to.
You want us to talk about Nathan Chala and Nathan Chanda and
Started then
Chishala?
it changed.
No,
He was asking.
I was asking for suggestions.
But some kind of party when you talk of Sarah, you must conduct a media discussion. As we know that then you're under English. So that's not so maybe you have the issue doesn't mean for the people maybe you are going to be that. But that short man called not fun.
Thank you very much, sir. So I have just received some petition for Munali.
Your petitions?
There are petitions signed by 500 people. Yeah, we're
it.
going to be seeing them on the screen displayed shortly. These people are petitioning the selection of the Munali UPF candidate, Mr. Samu Mbira, and they are saying that they want Chrismo. So the petition letter says, "Give us Chrismo, give us Crispin Chinda." We are Munali residents who love the president, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu. It's quite a lengthy letter. We're going to be getting to that. Let me pick some calls. Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Jipa from Shwangandu.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead with your contribution. How is Shwangandu this evening?
Yeah, I would like to advise you panelists here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let us also look at the strengths of the candidates and the weaknesses.
Do you have any weaknesses, sir, that you can give us?
Yeah,
Please go ahead.
let's look, for example, can pick on JJ.
Sure.
Yeah, JJ has got a bad record.
Mhm.
So he's believed to be violent, and he's got a background of that bullying character.
Yeah?
So I'm sure that could have been why then we ran the committee too prone to announce what deliberating on those issues.
We
So he couldn't have stood for the party very well.
okay.
Secured.
All right. Is there any other candidate you'd want to talk about?
The other weakness JJ has,
Sure.
or still has, he's not a public speaker.
Okay.
He's not a public speaker, not at all.
So he's not a public speaker and he is perceived to be
Yeah,
violent.
he can't speak to the public.
Okay.
He's not a public speaker. So for an MP like that, those weaknesses, an MP must be addressing his people, must be talking to his people. In a private room, yes, he can speak, but not a public land. I don't know how he could have campaigned, because maybe he could have used some other people to campaign for him. Those are the weaknesses of JJ, as the people we know him.
All right.
Then one more thing, Vasim.
Sure.
Yes, I don't know how you can assist us with one of your reporters here in Shwangandu.
All right.
We'll be having a conference on Sunday concerning the adoption.
Okay.
One our issues here as I judge the administration of the party, keep up some party officials because they dropped his brother who has been serving for 5 years, and again he wants him to stand despite being beaten 5 times within the preliminary elections.
Which party is this?
Yeah, the preliminary election. The person who won is having a press conference on Sunday. So we wanted you people to cover this press conference and hear the views of the people who are petitioning this DC stroke or Atikata, who has adjusted the administration of the party.
All right. So which party is holding this event?
Patriotic Front.
All right. All right. So we've gotten your number. We will.
But before you go, I would want to find out so far from you how are the adoptions in Shwangandu? Are you happy?
How are the adoptions
Are
in
you
Shwangandu?
happy with?
So there's a shambles. This woman here, we're sorry to say that despite our president appointing her, even in Awe, as if you are is someone who doesn't know how to run that he's a civil servant. Now he's hijacking the party. He's choosing who to stand and who not to stand. This is why the adoptions are in shambles. They are in
Okay.
shambles. Mukumbi Ward has been hijacked. This brother of his has never done anything, not at all, in Mukumbi Ward. One person died because of the DC forcing the elections to go on and on. No, on the way back, we lost one life on the motorbike.
Okay.
Because of the issue. So there is a press conference on Sunday we want to protest so that this thing is put to rest.
All right.
But are you happy with at MP level?
Come again?
Are you happy at MP level with the adoptions?
We'll come to that when the certificates are given.
But they've already told you. You
And
can
they have
take-
started receiving his certificates.
But we are still analyzing because
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for coming through.
People are not satisfied. But I'll differ with him on one thing. I think this is the basis where we lose good leaders. That's why people will come and speak good English and baingira pachan. I don't think Georgia has a problem in terms of communication. He communicates to his people. We've seen him drawing multitudes of people listening to him. We can still speak in a mother tongue, not so.
Yes.
The little English he speaks, we still hear what is up to. What Zambians are interested, or the people of Petauka are interested in, is development. That's all. And that should be the common denominator for me.
All right. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. All right. Please do remember to turn down the volume from your TV when you call in, so that there is no. We avoid that feedback as we converse on this platform. 0764250055 is the number that you're calling. 0764250055 is the number to call. Hello. Good evening.
hello.
Evening. Thank you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Colombia.
All right.
Hello.
Mr. Lungu, good to hear from you this evening. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I want to comment on Minister Dora.
Please go ahead.
Yes, on the list you are giving, I think I'll put it as if, I'll put it to say she has scandalous mind, because there's the ladder issue at the international airport in fact.
Okay.
Yes, you didn't put that.
We didn't
Like
put.
what you did on JJ,
Yes.
that you went to the police headquarters and hammered the police.
Yes. So we need to put that, and probably the maize gets
Yes,
handled as well.
the ladder issues at the international airport.
All right. Thank you, sir, for that addition. All right. So 0764250055 is the number to call. So, gentlemen, as I was going to this break, I did say that we have received petition from within the Patriotic Front camp. We're going to be getting to that right after this phone call. Hello, good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
This is
The name again? Please go ahead, sir. Okay, kindly move away from your TV.
We can't get you, sir. Reduce the volume from your TV set. We can't. Reduce the volume, sir. We can't get you.
All right. Well, we're going to be going for a short break for ads, and then on the other side, we'll be coming to wind up with the break. I'm used to the morning time. Hello. Good evening. Fine, thank you, sir. How are you? Sorry? Voice of Kafue, a long time. How is Kafue? All right, please go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, I need more of your transmission.
Sure.
I don't know, for the past 3 days, the main channel is not
Yes, we are preparing the transmission for encryption. So that is why we had that challenge, but then that has been done. So very soon we'll be encrypting our channel.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Chongwe, there's also another big battle. It's Suvia Masewo versus
Geoffrey Mwakalo.
Geoffrey Mwakalo.
Yeah.
It's a return of the fixture.
Let me bring in the president. I don't know where this president has been. Precious.
Yes.
Kwanu wazanga. Kwanu wazanga. Kwanu wazanga. Nati kwanu wazanga.
Wasankala ndani kwati kuno kuchawama.
Kuli ba Mrs. Mwansa.
Na Port Fatem.
Na Port Fatem.
Na PF wasankanda.
Ba Mrs. Mwansa.
Ndaka Mrs. Oh.
Please do call back. We're going to take this short break. When we come back.
Chawama,
Party mozi na watu watatu.
Socialist. Party mozi watu watatu. Swanazive kutwa sanga watu watatu. Nuzio palast. Anewe nukuchawama here. Nene kuchawama, nene kuchawama here. How?
Nanda, the adoption certificate. How could read the name?
Oh.
Okay, we take a break. Join us on the other side.
Bet. Bet on any sports and win. Football, basketball, FIFA, yes! Wow, fun! Great! Use promo code and get 200% bonus right now. 1xBet, bets for every taste.
As a young mom, you're not always sure that you're doing it right. Choosing the best baby care products for your child can sometimes be difficult. So I asked a pediatric nurse for advice, and she recommended BabyMed. Hypoallergenic skincare products specially formulated to suit my baby's fragile and sensitive skin. A complete range of products that makes every baby bath time a moment of tenderness and well-being. BabyMed, his first expert skincare.
Miss
VIP.
Magnetic Perfumes.
Let me see you make a move. Do it all, do it all, do it all. But on those days, I compromise it all. Either my skin is sensitive or my back's against the wall.
You can have it all.
What?
Always brings it all.
Okay.
Get it all with new Always Twin-1. Feather-like softness overall, even on the wings, girl. And rapid dry channels.
Let me see you make a move. Be it all, do it all, have it all.
Always. We are the generation of change.
Zambia's two most favorite fruits, mango and guava, now available all year round. Californian mango and Californian guava, the delightful real fruit juices from the makers of Fruity.
A quality product of California Beverages.
We are the future, and that future starts here and now. You see, we've never been afraid to dream big, so every day we turn those dreams into choices Choices that create moments to forge a path to make our dream a reality. For us, there's no such thing as failure, only a choice to keep moving forward. To take every step with unrelenting focus. Because we know that what starts here changes the world. Every challenge accepted, every goal met, every choice defines us. You see, we take education a step further. Through partnerships with the corporate world, providing internships and job opportunities for graduates, we are the perfect partner to carry you forward. The University of Lusaka, passion for quality education, our driving force.
Here is my good friend Joseph. This is his world. Here he is Zebige. He pays close attention to every corner, to every finish, to the top of each and every table. He's got a real feel for it. Oh, you thought I was talking about furniture, did you?
Presenting Mr. Money! Send cash and get cash right now from overseas. With international money transfer, it's just a breeze. Receive cash from across Africa at cool rates, and receive cash from other networks across states. You can cross borders at any time with your local Airtel line. So many deals with Airtel Money. It's your time. Mr. Money, he knows it all money. He knows it all. From Canada to Australia to Saudi Arabia, South Africa to America. Get cash in your area. Send and receive money from most countries in Africa with international money transfer. With our global money partners, transact conveniently across borders. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Be it all, let me see you make your move. Do it all, do it all, do it all. But on those days, I compromise it all. Either my skin is sensitive or my back's against the wall.
You can have it all.
What?
Always brings it all.
Okay.
Get tall with new Always Twin-1. Feather-like softness overall, even on the wings, girl. And rapid dry channels.
Let me see you make a move. Be it all, do it all, have it all.
Always, we are the generation of change.
Zambia's two most favorite fruits, mango and guava, now available all year round. Californian mango and Californian guava, the delightful real fruit juices from the makers of Fruity.
A quality product of California Beverages.
Here is my good friend Joseph. This is his world. Here he is Zebige. He pays close attention to every corner, to every finish, to the top of each and every table. He's got a real feel for it. Oh, you thought I was talking about furniture, did you?
Staying with us, you are following the, Zambia Decides program. We were talking to Precious, but then the line cut. Precious, good evening.
Yes, good evening, I'm back.
At Masanga kwanga. Sorry, tizafaka moyato.
Okay, Manzati Wasanga, I've heard of Tassila. I just heard Facebook Potifa. Now I've heard from Mabvuto Phiri. It will be a horse race Chawama. And not because that one our president, it's what she has done. I'm speaking from someone who's been on the ground. And I was just, as I was about to call, I was talking with someone by Facebook over the same. There are issues that I cannot disclose on TV right now, but I've told the same person from the UPND camp to try to talk to their candidate of the certain things I've inboxed the person I was talking to. It would be a horse race to Mabvuto. I don't know. And then when you talk about the Mandevu one, it's also the same. I know Mr. Aaron Mulope, Nae Veija, Vakose. And then those people who are talking about JJ, that he's rude, people change. We shouldn't use the things that they've done. But when change someone else. So for me, I support the decision he has taken, and how I wish the next parliament should have people like Vene JJ, Vene Iris. I would want that house. Too much of the bulldozers. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Precious, for your contribution this evening. Gentlemen, we have about 15 minutes before we wind up with this program. Which area did you want us to go to? Ron constituency, where we do have Nathan Chanda from the Patriotic Front, Chishala from the UPND NDC Alliance. You're gathering your thoughts. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Good,
thank you, Mr. Mwanza. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Thank you very much.
Yes, one man is very good.
You know, in London we say Kaswa we Munduko. I was in Wanamkuba yesterday. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I was in Wanamkuba yesterday. I discovered the numbers so popular. I don't know what criteria this would are using for picking the other candidates or candidates. I don't know. Only in the years I can say, no, for sure, but numbers that man are doing living in there, so that seat, I don't see people getting it. It will depend. Only JJ. JJ is a human being, and I don't know what the other one who said is not a public speaker. I don't know what he meant by public. That man is known. We have been seeing him on the TVs, but we have done it for those people that are supposed to be picked. But if now people want to see, people they want other people, if these people on the higher level, they are picking different people. I don't know what they say we are doing. This is probably happening. Saying he came in there, they picked like it. Today they have removed him there. They have that thing again that's going to the chief.
All of them bring
so the chief is expect those insults again.
Sure.
It's really a trick. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Mr. But what is your analysis of the adoption so far that you have come across?
To be honest, only Bomuchima will stand that seat.
Okay.
Chifubu, you think they are getting it. I know they do what they have put there. Indora Central, Pelletari will get it. Bwana Mkubwa, Jonas, I don't think we can because I don't know what happened seeing the candidate for UPND. But when I went there, Mambazi was a person who was a servant, but now it's not there. I have to wait the last as well. Yes, otherwise it's so tricky.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, sir, for that your contribution. Now, we are going to be, getting to another part of this conversation where we invite someone from the Patriotic. Now, this is.
Come. Is it live?
Yes.
We are live.
Yes, we're live.
We are live. Such stuff in the we are live. We're on. We've been following your conversation. You've been calling for the media. You've been saying you want to. So come now. We are live. Come, madam.
Madam,
So we have about how many minutes? We have about 10 minutes before we wind up, so we'll try to converse within this period. So, why say Mukwe? All right, maybe just for the sake of my viewers, you can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Okay, I'm Sandra Phiri from Munali constituency. And, with my colleagues here, they'll introduce themselves.
And I'm Juliet Mtade from Munali constituency. I'm Thelma Zulu from Munali constituency.
All right. We did receive a petition in digital form, and I was reading it on the show before you made your way to studio. Fortunately, you were able to find us before the show could, finish. And this petition is that you feel that the adoption process was not fair?
Definitely.
We've been receiving calls from our morning, let's say, 8 hours, people complaining about the adoptions process of Munali constituency. They've been given someone they don't know. They've been given someone that we've been given, rather, someone that we don't know, someone that is not known on the ground. In the name of Patrick, what is his name? Simwambila. We don't even know his name. So we've seen some posting on the social media circulating. The only hope for Munali and what the people of Munali constituents want is what is in this petition. Right as at now, we are from the secretariat, and unfortunately, the time that we were reaching there was no one to attend to this petition.
And that was 20.
By law, it is saying that the petition can only be submitted within 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So we've thought it wise to come to this media house.
So you went to the secretariat
and there was no one there. We only found the security guards. So they said, no, bring this petition in the morning at 8 hours when the offices are fully operational. But by the time it would be 8 hours, maybe 24 hours had elapsed by then. So because they only announced the nominations at 02. And by then, people were asleep. So in Munali constituency, we're not happy. We're tired of absentees MPs. We've seen in a number of MPs have been absentees. We want someone who's born and bred in Munali, who understands hardships that we pass through in Munali constituency. Example, I come from Mtendere. I know all the far corners of Mtendere. Equally, the candidate that we want in the name of Crispin Chinda, he knows all the areas in Mtendere. So it would be very easy for him to enforce the development to the people of Munali.
But we are told that Mr. Samuel Mbila is quite known in Munali constituency because he's even a teacher. He was a teacher at one of the schools there. He was the chairperson of the National Arts Council. And he's the only candidate so far, for all the candidates in this country, that has a printed manifesto. He seems to have a plan.
It is very difficult because, you as a media house, I think you just go and do a feasibility study in Munali constituency. Ask them about Simwimbira. I don't even know his name. I only came across his name in the morning when I was reading and when I called my colleagues to say, this is a person that has been adopted. So now we're saying, go and do a feasibility study and see for yourself if he's known on the ground. He's not known.
Now that the Central Committee has selected this man to represent Munali constituency, don't you believe in the leadership that is, overseeing affairs of the party for them to have come up with this name?
First and foremost, let me state that we are not lacking respect for the Central Committee. We respect the Central Committee, and our goal of us as the people of Munali constituency is to see to it that His Excellency, the President, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu, goes back to State House after August 12 elections so that he can finish his mandate up to 2026. But we want someone who's going to work hand in hand with His Excellency, the President, who's going to tell him what the people want. We want someone who understands the needs of the people of Munali constituency. The challenges that people are facing. We want someone who's always on the ground. You know, there are two different things, printing a manifesto and knowing the ground. Yes. You might print a manifesto, but you don't know the ground. You don't know the people in the constituents. You don't know the areas in the constituents. You don't know what they are lacking. Therefore, it's a pity that we didn't have maybe a debate for the MPs to come on this show.
We really wanted that, but the leadership of the party stopped us from having that. They said we could only have it after this process is done. So we couldn't interview those that were vying for this position. But this petition has been signed, 500 signatures.
Yes, 500.
I counted on the digital copy. And to those that are following this, conversation, the situation is that the Patriotic Front had made, an announcement of the adopted candidates for various parts in this country, Zambia, and this announcement was made in the early hours of today. It should have been around 02 hours. And
02, because I heard the news around 04 hours.
Yes, I saw it first around 03. So we are told that according to the party constitution, if members of those contesting are aggrieved, they are able to petition the party, and that can only happen within 24 hours. But you went to the secretariat,
yes,
and the secretariat is locked.
The time we went to the secretariat, it was around 20. We found no one there, and I took a footage when we were entering, and yes, so we didn't find anyone. The guard is the one who took us in. Yes.
And so what is your next step?
Let me start. I think before we soldier ahead, I would want to spread that we are doing this in good faith. We're doing this in good faith. We're in full support of the Patriotic Front. But as it stands now, we are giving room to the independent member of parliament or the opposition, because the person that we have been given is not the person that is not the people's choice. We have low density residential areas in Mnali constituents and high density residential areas in Mnali constituents. So when we talk about the low density residential areas, we're talking of PHI, Havondale, maybe NRDC, and part of Marshlands, Unza here, Chadley. Those, we don't get a lot of votes from those areas. But looking at Mtendere, Kalikiriki, Kamanga, Chainda, Chakunkula, and the press called Madido there, including Mtendere East, the one they call Maplot. Chris Moore is the person that is known there. Patrick Swimbira is not known there. So it's our cry that the MCCs and the Central Committee, if possible, they should rescind their decision. They should rescind their decision and reconsider their decision by adopting Chris Chinda, aka Chris Moore. Is the people's choice. We've seen where he's coming from. He started as a community leader until the time that we, the people of Mnali, told him to say, okay, we want you to represent us. At least we would see the development that we want. If I can show you the pics of some of the roads in, linking Mtendere to Mtendere, it's very deteriorated. Not even a ambulance or anything can pass through those roads. So in an event that we have an emergency. So want someone who understands those problems that we face.
How did your candidate perform in the run-up to this particular decision that was arrived at by the Central Committee? I know that he was supposed to have attended interviews at is it ward and district level, provincial, and then the national level. How was his performance at those levels?
You know how interviews are. For you to find a job here at Muvi TV,
yes,
you had gone through the interviews.
Yes.
But maybe some of the people that were not on the panel of interviewers, they wouldn't know what transpired there. But, yes, we understand that it is very important for one to undergo interviews before you are adopted. But at times, the guidance of the interviews wouldn't know how we performed or how the one has been adopted performed. It might be vice versa. Maybe Crispin Chinda performed better than the one who has been adopted. We wouldn't know. Maybe they looked at the printed manifesto. We wouldn't know. By the end of the day, what is supposed to be done is they adopt someone who's the people's choice.
Yes.
They adopt someone For instance, today you stay in Makeni, which is Kanyama constituency. You have to know the door or the house of your MP. If you have any problem concerning, there's no one who's bigger than Zambia. Zambia is for us all. So at the end of the day, you have to know where your MP is going to be found. But where are they going to find Simimbila? Quite okay, we understand it's the decision of Mighty Patriotic Front, the part that we support. But we just want someone who's going to be closer to us and someone who understands that ship that we pass through. In short, we want a born and bred Mnari.
Yes, we want someone whom we are going to be comfortable with complaining and telling to say we are facing this and that, and you understand to say, okay, I think this is what, for these people to come and approach me to complaining to say there's a problem, we're having a challenge here and there, he's got at least an idea of saying, okay, yes, let me go in, because he knows, he understands the ground. He understands the kinds of challenges that we're going through in Munali constituency. And for Patrick, I don't know if it's Simimbila, something like that. The person is not known. Even the youths of Munali have spoken to say, no, we don't know this person. So we're here to speak even on behalf of the youths of Munali, everyone in Munali constituency, almost everyone is, we're all confused. We're all confused to say, where is this person coming from? Because I personally, I haven't heard of the person. I don't know the person.
All right, gentlemen, ladies, we'd like to appreciate you for having, found time to get through to our studios and air your concerns. And we do hope that those, parties that are interested in this and can make decisions have heard your plea and will come to, respond to what you have.
Just maybe before you close, this petition is very much valid as at now. So we would love if they can extend the time, because we want to present it tomorrow by 8 hours. But by then, by law, it would have elapsed. So we're just within the confines of the law. That's why we went to the Secretariat. But at the end of the day, we love the Mighty Patriotic Front, and we love His Excellency the President, Dr. Edgar Chagwarunga, and we love his hard work. Yes, so before we lose to the opposition or we surrender the seat to the independent member of parliament who's doing more well, seconded from the Patriotic Front in the area, please, the Central Committee should look into this and listen to their decision.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. You've been watching Zambia Decides. Join us again tomorrow at the same time. Good night.
Ona, vatipasa muntu wese.
I see opportunities to grow and to take Zambia to a whole new level.